So which one of these are you? I have so many ideas. I have so many hobbies. I have so many things that I talk about on YouTube. I don't know. You're supposed to niche down. I'm not even sure what that means. And I want to start a channel, but I want to talk about 35 different things, and I don't know what people want to listen to. Or are you, I have maybe 2 ideas of things that I would make a video about, but I don't know what to do after that. What do people want to hear? Well, if you're anywhere on those 2 sides of the spectrum or anywhere in between, I think that's what we can really help to solve today. So, hey, let's get into it. I'm Diane. I am 55. I'm a proud Gen Xer, and I have started this channel to help my fellow Gen Xers and early boomers to find ways to impact and earn. Further your impact basically by what you already know, and hopefully come up with some ways to monetize that so you can earn some extra income while doing it. Today, we're going to chat about 3 different ways that I think can be super helpful in guiding what you talk about on your channel. And let me tell you, number 3, I think is kind of a secret weapon that not a lot of people talk about, so please stay tuned until then. So here's the first one, and it's a question that I see a lot. Do I have to just stick with one topic for a channel? Well, I think you answer that question by answering this one first. Do you want to get that channel monetized and make money from Google AdSense from it? So here's a quick review of what that means. If you want to get your channel monetized, you have to reach 1,000 subscribers on it, and you have to reach 4,000 watch hours. So that means over the past 365 days, you would accumulate 4,000 hours of somebody watching the content that's on your channel. So if you reach those levels, then you can apply to be monetized for your channel. And if your answer is, yeah, I want that, well then, yeah, you kind of have to stick with one general topic, basically so people know what to expect from you. Now, does that have to last forever? Well, candidly, I'm not really sure. I haven't been monetized all that long, and I've been kind of sticking in my general lane of what I've established for my channel because I want to get more established. I want to have my subscribers, you all, feel comfortable in what I'm talking about, and it's worth your time and keeping to come back. So honestly, you don't really want to throw your followers for a big loop once you kind of get them established, unless you have a good reason for doing it and you're able to explain that. And secondly, and I don't know, maybe most importantly, that mysterious YouTube algorithm. You want to get really pretty established in that before you really veer off course, because it is picking up what your viewers are responding to, and it's really, I think, on our behalf, trying to find the audience that is most likely to want to tune in. So once it's kind of got you pegged, I don't think you want to start very soon, at least, really veering from that, or the algorithm's going to be like, well, I have no idea who to show it to now, so maybe I just won't show it. Don't want to get there. So on my part of things, I'm keeping with one general subject right now, but I'm not staying super narrow with it. So generally, as I mentioned, I'm focusing my videos on the topic of helping people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s to earn extra money as we prepare for retirement and roll into it, and to do that by sharing and monetizing the information that we know from life experience. I've started with some side hustle things, have gotten a lot of traffic on them, but I've also leaned much more into how to make money with a YouTube channel and how to develop that channel and doing it. And let me tell you, y'all have stepped up and told me, yeah, we want to hear this. So perfect. That's really helpful. And I'm going to keep going with this and hopefully, keep providing wisdom that is really actionable for you and stuff that helps you to get your own channel set up. Now, as we start moving into 2025, I'm kind of thinking I might expand it a little bit and move more into also writing books that could be available for sale as a Kindle book on Amazon or through Audible as an audiobook. And some of the do's and don'ts with doing that successfully, and then also moving into digital courses too. The e-learning industry, I think this is a fascinating stat, that experts expect by the end of 2025, the e-learning industry, meaning basically digital courses and education online, is expected to be a $325 billion industry. That is no small amount. And I'd like to be more a part of that than what I am, and I'd like to do what I can to help you be a part of that too. But I offer that as an example to say that, okay, my focus, my channel is to help Gen Xers and early boomers to be able to have more impact and earn more income by basically sharing what we already know from our life experience. So that brings into the vehicles of YouTube, of ebooks or Kindle books or digital courses. It's all in that same big circle of things. So I offer that as an example of maybe that can be sort of the approach that you could take too, of not super narrow, but still giving your viewers and the algorithm a clear idea of what to expect from you as you grow. Here's suggestion number 2 in helping you to define what you want your channel to be about. Honestly, you have to talk about things that you're comfortable talking about. I've seen some people feel like they have to do this a massive amount of research to be able to put things out, and don't do that to yourself. I'm sure there's things that are much easily coming to top of mind for you that you can speak about with, maybe checking out a few things and maybe having a few notes and a little bit of a script to go by. But there are things that just kind of flow naturally from us, and I would really encourage you to kind of lean into them a little bit more. It comes across with a lot more authenticity. I think it makes you seem more credible because it's a little bit more obvious that you know what you're talking about, rather than like, oh golly, I have to come up with this stuff because I think people want to hear it, but I don't know anything about it. Please don't go that route. Pull on the things that you feel comfortable talking about, and making the videos is going to be a whole lot easier for you then. Now, I will just kind of veer in here with a little bit of a caution. I do see a lot of people just copy. And obviously, we're all going to talk about some of the similar themes once we're into a topic. And I even myself have taken a title of a video that I thought was good and used it for one that I did because I made the whole topic in the video completely my own. The title worked and I knew it was going to draw viewers, and honestly, it worked for me. I don't want to do that every time, but I thought it was a great title and I thought I can do that topic too. But don't be tempted to go so far in that you feel like you're just basically copying something that everybody else has in a video because it got a lot of views. Make it your own. Bring your own flavor. Bring your own experience and stories into it. Don't be tempted to just say, oh, that person works, so I'm just going to do the exact same thing. That's not going to work for you in the long run, and it may not even work in the short run. So let's think through the topics that you are likely to feel comfortable in. Something that you have a lot of knowledge in from your career and work life. Or it could be a hobby that you absolutely love and you spend all this time in and you have so much experience to be able to share. Or let's get practical. It could be advice on how to raise kids and how to have a healthy marriage. Or insights into how you've grown in your faith. All these sorts of things are things that we are producing as Gen Xers and later through our life experience. So what we have to offer just from that, compare what you could talk about on said subject that you know that you've lived through a lot and you've seen victories and defeats and had questions and worked through things, compared to what maybe a 23-year-old would talk about on the same topic. Now, certainly they can provide some level of expertise on it, but don't forget that we're the ones that had the life experience to speak to these things that adds automatic authenticity and credibility. So I'm sure there are things in your life that you can think of that you've had a fairly significant interest in. Let them be the kind of things that you feel like you can start out with and say, okay, I can feel comfortable talking about that because I know it and I've lived it. Let those sorts of things be maybe what your initial focus is on, and go from there. Now, I do just want to offer a little bit of a freedom to you, especially when we're starting. Not very many eyeballs are on our channels yet. So feel free to experiment. You might want to find the things that truly you feel the most comfortable talking about. So maybe you have to test a few things like, well, I could do this or I could do this. And, as your channel grows, then you can sort of find your lane and stick with it. Don't feel the pressure that from day one, you have to figure out exactly what you're going to do. Some of it is just experience and you talk about it and you sense what's going to come the most naturally to you. And maybe just follow that path from there. That might be the best approach. All right, here's that. I feel like I should look around. Here's that secret weapon that I talked about, number 3. And I didn't know this was going to be the case when I started. The secret weapon is you. I had no idea when I started this channel that you all would be so generous in sharing your comments and reactions and things that you're thinking through and things that you're struggling in, especially with the YouTube channel starting specifically. And it's been so helpful to me to get an idea of where the gaps are and what I can share that might be the most helpful. So thank you. Thank you, honestly, just for following and for sharing so freely, because I see the community building and so many people responding to each other, and I love that. And thank you also for giving me ideas. And I want to encourage you that as you get started and as your channel starts to build, and especially when you ask for what do you want to hear from me, something like that, that I think you're your tribe is going to start to respond and give you the ideas with that. That's definitely something I've seen happen here. So I will say, please, if there's other things that, especially with YouTube channel at this point, that you would want me to start talking about, please let me know. Or if those ideas of moving into writing books and digital courses are something that's appealing to you too, please let me know that too. Because I want to have this targeted that it's going to be helpful, that I want to have this targeted that's going to be something they actually care about. So, anything you can leave for me in that regard, great, but please be encouraged that you can do this exact same thing. And I think your community is really going to step up and help you. But here's another point too. If your channel isn't that big and you don't know yet, go to the similar channels of what you think your channel might get to be in the future and look at their comments, because people are kind of doing the same thing there. So absolutely do not sleep on that valuable asset of what your community is already offering to you. And got to give the people what they want and fill the needs and be able to be as helpful as possible. And that's a great way to do it. Well, there's 3 things that I think can really help to define your avenue as you think about starting a YouTube channel. There's definitely more than that, but they're the 3 that I have found to be the most helpful. So again, I welcome your suggestions if there's other things that you'd like me to cover, but here's what you can expect from me in return. I am always going to be that encourager for you, that especially if you're age 40 and above, start sharing what you know. And, hopefully along the way, there's ways that we can make some income from that. But bottom line is, sharing what you know helps people. And I really didn't have an idea of how many people that would be when I got started. And it's really just been an amazing thing to see. What you know can help people that are behind you on that path to be able to figure out more of what they're doing and give them courage and just the ability to think, okay, I can do it. So don't be just sitting back and thinking that nothing you have is of value. Anything that you've walked through in your life that has provided some sort of insight and victory or even defeat is something that can help some other person. So I encourage you, please just start. Your voice is needed in the world.